Hi, and welcome to this module where we're going to talk about pricing. So what does all of this really cost? The cost structure of cloud storage is quite complicated because the costs are divided into data storage costs, network usage costs, costs based on operations, possible retrieval fees, and possible early deletion fees. We're going to go through these one by one. Starting off with data storage costs. The storage costs depend on the region that your data is set in, as well as the storage class that you have selected. The cheapest standard storage is currently at roughly 2 cents per gigabyte per month in some of the North American, European, and Asian regions. The most expensive one is the Sao Paulo region, South America East 1, at 3.5 cents per gigabyte per month. The dual regions often cost a bit less than the two separate regions combined, and multi-region often cost just a little bit more than a single region. Nearline costs vary similarly from 1 cent per gigabyte per month to 2 cents per gigabyte per month. The cost is often just half or just a bit over half of the standard cost. This time, the dual regions cost exactly the sum of the two participant regions, and multi-regions always cost 1 cent per gigabyte per month. Cold line costs have a lot of variants, starting at 0.4 cents in some North American and European regions, all the way to 0.7 cents in Sao Paulo, and also some other North American and European regions. So paying close attention to which region you're selecting. These prices are often, but not always, just under half of the cold line storage price. Dual regions are 0.9 cents in North America and Europe and 1.2 cents in Asia, whereas multi-regions are all 0.7 cents per gigabyte per month. At last, we're also talking about archival storage. It costs from 0.12 to 0.3 cents per gigabyte per month, depending on the region. Dual regions are 0.5 cents, except for the Asian dual region being 0.65, and all multi-regions are 0.4 cents per month. Besides storage, you're also paying for network usage. A Google Cloud internal traffic, which means when both the provider and the consumer of the data are within Google Cloud. So for example, when we're moving data from one bucket to another bucket in cloud storage, or if we're consuming data from a Google Cloud virtual machine, is free as long as it's internal. It can be internal to the region itself, in which case the data location is in the same region than the data consumer, or internal to a dual region. In that case, the consumer can be in either one of the two regions that the dual region consists of. Or also a multi-region data access is considered to be local. So in that way, if your consumer is in any of the regions that comprise the multi-region, that traffic is considered to be internal and thus free. If we have inter-region traffic, so non-internal, and it is within the same continent, in that case it's charged at 1 cent per gigabyte. Intercontinental traffic is charged at the general egress prices. Sometimes we have special pricings for particular consumers of cloud storage traffic. One of these consumers is Cloud CDN. For Cloud CDN, we're charging traffic whenever the CDN is filling its cache, thus downloading the data from the original location. In that case, if that download location is within North America or Europe, it's charged at 1 cent per gigabyte. Within any other continent, it's charged at 2 cents per gigabyte, and across continents, it's charged at 4 cents per gigabyte. Google Cloud also has some special CDNs that are paired with, in addition to Cloud Interconnect or your own direct peering connection. These have the following prices. If the data is within North America, it's 4 cents per gigabyte. Within the EU, it's 5 cents per gigabyte. And within Asia Pacific, it's 6 cents per gigabyte. Next up, let's take a look at the general network charges. First of all, ingress traffic is always free towards Google Cloud's network. Egress traffic is charged the same price worldwide except for China and Australia. It's charged at 12 cents per gigabyte for the first terabyte, 11 cents per gigabyte for the next 9 terabytes, and 8 cents per gigabyte after the total of 10 terabytes each month. With China, the prices are 23 cents per gigabyte for the first terabyte, 22 cents per gigabyte for the next 9, and then 20 cents per gigabyte after the total 10 terabytes each month. Australia is a little bit cheaper at 19 cents per gigabyte for the first terabyte, 18 cents for the next 9, and then finally 15 cents per gigabyte after 10 terabytes each month. Now next, let's take a look at the operations. Operations costs mean basically that you're getting charged for every single API request that you do to the Google Cloud Storage API. We have two different types of operations, Class A and B. Class A consists of the heavier type of operations, like listing the contents of a bucket, creation of objects, or updating buckets or objects. Class B again would be getting metadata or actual data of objects or buckets. Deletion of objects or buckets is always free. In the standard tier, Class A costs 5 cents per 10,000 operations monthly. Class B actions again take 0.4 cents per 10,000 ops. With nearline storage, we're seeing a higher operations price. Here, Class A operations cost 10 cents per 10,000 ops, and Class B 1 cent per 10,000 ops. With cold line storage, the Class A is the same price as nearline. However, Class B is again more expensive at 5 cents per 10,000 operations. On the archive tier, we're getting really high on these charges. Here, both Class A and Class B operations cost 50 cents per 10,000 operations. In addition to the higher operation costs, non-standard retrieval also costs. So the standard class has no retrieval charges. In nearline, we have 1 cent per gigabyte. In cold line, we have 2 cents per gigabyte. And in archive, we have 5 cents per gigabyte. Additionally, some of the storage classes have a minimum storage duration. That means that if you delete your data earlier than that minimum duration, you will be charged an early deletion charge, that is the storage charge for that minimum duration. With nearline, the minimum duration is 30 days, with cold line 90 days, and with archive 365 days. There's always some free stuff available at Google Cloud as well, as part of the free tier. With regards to Google Cloud Storage, these free tier offerings are only available in North America in the following regions: US East 1, US West 1, and US Central 1. The free tier offering includes 5 gigabytes of standard storage, 5,000 Class A ops, and 50,000 Class B ops. Additionally, 1 gigabyte of egress traffic from North America to any other GCP egress destination is included, except for Australia or China. Let's take a closer look at these charges using some examples.